Hi, I am Daniel, and I just saw the new film by Sony Picture Animation Studios called The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which was originally intended to be released January 2020 in cinemas, but was moved to October of that year with the new title connected until it eventually just got released on Netflix, and with the old title back too, because Netflix already has something called Connected. By the first trailer, I was mixed because the story had some potential, but it seemed like it was going to have a technology bad message. The comedy in the trailer was pretty bad, especially for overusing the pug, who was actually not in the movie as much as was expected. It had creators behind Lego Movie and Spider-Verse behind it, but they also did Cowboy Chance of Meatballs, which I don't like much, and although it is great, Into the Spider-Verse is kind of overrated. When I heard it was moved to Netflix, I decided I would watch it, but I probably wouldn't have if it was in cinemas, even with the slightly better second trailer. Anyway, the story decides to make the plot with the family the main plot, and the robot pockets are a secondary storyline, which I think is a better decision than trying to juggle two stories equally, even though it worked in Iron Stitch. The message of technology is very mild in the movie, and is more of a catalyst to start off the plot. The actual message is more like onward in how it acknowledges how technology can be good, and it's more the need for it and corporations that are the problem. However, the story does have some problems, like how it can't decide whether it wants to take itself seriously, and the other scenes that feels like it should be serious gets ruined by the film's tone. Without spoiling it, the climax bit is kind of a mess in how things happen after, etc., without any breathing space. It's way too convoluted for the film it's in. Even with them things, the story is still good. Now on to the characters. The Mitchell family is focused mostly on Rick and Katie, but the other two also have personalities, and we see a dynamic of the whole family, as well as individual interactions, so it works really well. On the way, the Mitchells team up with two robots, and they're the best characters for being really funny and entertaining. The phone is a decent villain, and I like the interaction with the inventor, and how there wasn't a parallel between them and the family, because it isn't comparable. This film is character driven, and that was a good decision because the characters are great. The character designs are something that I didn't know how to feel about at first seeing the trailer, but when given it some time to get used to, I really like the way it looks. It has a style to it with unusual shapes and outline and each animation that makes it stand out. Raya has better animation, but that's just an improvement of what Moana did. But while you could make the argument it's like Into the Spider-Verse, it feels very different in the execution. The movement and lighting is superb in this film. To show Katie's creative side, this film blends some 2D animation drawings in and it looks cool. Some of the moments ruin serious scenes, but it's not the animation's fault. The comedy is mixed because there's some very funny moments, but in my opinion, a lot of the jokes didn't work. Not in a really annoying way, just I didn't find this funny way. In conclusion, I give The Mitchell vs. the Machines 8 out of 10, and I would recommend recommendation. It's almost a strongly recommend, but it's just a would recommend because this is just a solid great film with some problems that you should watch if you have Netflix, but it's not worth getting a month just for this alone. On the ranking, it's third place, and on the upper half of the ranking. Speaking about the films on the list, there was a new Soul short that came out on Disney Plus called 22 on Earth, which is funny how it makes fun of how dumb the idea of sparks are, and I would recommend watching that. The end.